students, today we can study about the urethra. Okay. So we already studied the urinary bladder, and then now today we can study about the urethra. Okay. So the urethra, that is the here this means female section. Here we can see this is a urinary bladder, and this portion. So this is known as urethra. Okay. So it's a small muscular tube which carries urine from the urinary bladder to the outside. Okay. So this tube is known as narrow muscular tube is known as urethra. Okay. And the structure of the urethra will differ from male and female. Okay. Male and female. First we can study about the urethra in females. Female urethra. Okay. So this is the section, and here we can see this is the female urethra. Here this is our uterus, and here comes the vagina. So this is anterior portion, this is the pubic symphysis, anterior part. Okay, from anterior to posterior. So anteriorly next to the pubic symphysis, this is our pubic bone. So next to the pubic symphysis, here we can see in female urethra, this is 4 centimeter in length. Okay. It is 4 centimeter long, and it extends from the urinary bladder to the external urethral opening. Okay. And it passes downward. It passes downward and closely related to the anterior wall of the vagina. This is our vagina, so it is closely related to the anterior wall of vagina, and it passes downward and opens into the external urethral opening, and it is surrounded by the sphincter urethrae muscle. So here we can see the muscle there. So it is surrounded by the sphincter urethrae muscle. Okay. Then finally it opens into the this one. Here this is the external urethral opening. It opens into the vestibule. This is the vestibule area. So between the labia majora. Okay. So it opens into the vestibule anterior to the opening of the vagina. So this is the opening of vagina. So anterior to the opening of vagina, it opens into the vestibule. So this region is known as vestibule. Okay. And in the interior portion, this section here we can see. So this is urinary bladder. This is the urethra. Okay. In diagram, this is the urethra. Here we can see this is the opening of vagina, and here on either side we can see the sphincter urethrae muscle. Sphincter urethrae. Okay. And to the mucosa of this urethra also is folded, and we can see small openings. See the small openings of the paraurethral glands can be seen. Paraurethral glands. Okay, opening of the paraurethral glands can be seen in the mucosa. Then, so these are the features of urethra, female urethra. Then arterial supply, it is supplied by the superior vesicle and vaginal arteries, and veins, it forms a plexus. We can see here venous plexus. It forms the plexus around the urethra, and this plexus will finally drains into the internal iliac vein. Internal iliac vein. The lymphatic drainage into the external and internal iliac lymph nodes. And nerve supply, it is supplied by the sympathetic and parasympathetic fibers. The parasympathetic fibers arises from the second to the fourth sacral segments. Second to the fourth sacral segments. Then sympathetic from the pelvic splanchnic plexus. Pelvic splanchnic plexus. So that is the blood supply and nerve supply of the female urethra. Okay. That's all about the female urethra. Next we can study about the male urethra. So this is section of the male urethra, and male urethra is 18 to 20 centimeter in length. 18 to 20. This is the urinary bladder, and here we can see this is the male urethra. This red line going like this. So this is the male urethra. So it is 18 to 20 centimeter in length. Okay. And if the penis is in a flaccid stage, it will be an S shape. S shape. Okay. And if the penis is in the erected stage, this urethra will be J shape. J. It will be straight like this. Okay. J shape. Okay. So these are the shape of male urethra. Then it is 18 to 20 centimeter in length, and it is divided into three parts. It has three parts. This part, this is, here we can see, this is urinary bladder. Below the urinary bladder, this here we can see on either side, this is our prostate gland. Okay, so this, the urethra passes through the prostate gland. Okay, the part of urethra which passes through the prostate gland is known as prostatic urethra. Okay, so this is prostatic urethra, and here we can see this is our urogenital diaphragm. This is membrane, okay, formed by the muscles, muscular layer. So this is the this muscle forms a diaphragm here. So this part, the part which passes through the diaphragm, so that is known as membranous part. Membranous part. Okay. Then the part which can see inside the penis, this is the penile part. So three parts of the urethra: prostatic part, membranous part, and penile part. Okay. Then prostatic part, it is about 3 centimeter long. This is 3 centimeter long, and it passes through the prostate gland. It is the widest and most dilatable part of the male urethra. And so this section here, this is our prostate gland. Here we can see this is the prostatic urethra. Okay, this is the membranous part, and here comes the penile part. Okay, this is the prostatic part. Here we can see the posterior wall of the prostatic urethra has a thickening. It is produced by the lobe of the prostate gland. So this thickening is known as tender thickening, which is seen in the posterior wall of the urethra, is known as urethral crust. So this is known as urethral crust. Then at the center part of the urethral crust, we can see a bulging. This is known as verumontanum. Verumontanum. Okay, so this, on the verumontanum, we can see opening of the prostatic utricle. Here we can see centrally there is an opening for the opening of prostatic utricle. Utricle we will study later. Prostatic utricle. So in this section we can see this is the opening of prostatic utricle. This is the prostatic utricle. This is a sac-like structure. So this is known as prostatic utricle, and here it opens into the central part. So this, so this is the prostatic utricle. So here we can see inside the prostate gland a small sac-like structure can be seen. So that is known as prostatic utricle. So it opens into the central part, and on either side, below the opening, we can see on either side opening of the ejaculatory duct. Ejaculatory duct can be seen. Opening of the ejaculatory duct. All these structures can be seen in the verumontanum. Verumontanum. Yep. And so these are the features in the prostatic urethra. Yep. And coming to the membranous urethra, membranous part, it is only about 1 centimeter length, and it is the narrowest part of the urethra, and it passes through the urogenital diaphragm. And it is surrounded by sphincter urethrae muscle. See, this is this part. This part is known as membranous part. So it is only 1 centimeter in length, passes through the urogenital diaphragm. The diaphragm is formed by these muscles, sphincter urethrae muscles. Okay. So this is the diaphragm. So it passes through the diaphragm, urogenital diaphragm. Then it is surrounded by the sphincter urethrae muscle. So this is sphincter urethrae muscle. Sphincter urethrae muscle. So that is the membranous part. And to the membranous part, surrounded by the muscles, sphincter muscles. So then comes the penile part. The penile part, it is 15 to 16 centimeter in length, and it passes through the bulb of penis. This portion is known as bulb of penis. So it passes through the bulb of the penis. In this diagram we can see. So this portion is the bulb of the penis. So it passes through the bulb of penis, then passes through the body of the penis. And it is the narrow. So this is the penile part, and it passes through the penis and ends into the tip of the penis. through external urethral opening. Okay. Then the spinal part passes through the penis and externally it opens into the through external urethral orifice at the tip of the penis. Okay. It shows two dilatations, one at the starting point at the bulb of near to the bulb of the penis, and that is known as intrabulbar fossa. So this is known as intrabulbar fossa, and next another dilatation can be seen near to the tip. This is known as navicular fossa. Okay. And within the urethra, bulbar penile urethra, we can see small openings of the urethral glands. Urethral glands opens into the penile part of the urethra. Number of openings can be seen in the urethra. Okay. And there are two sphincters in connection. There are two sphincters for the urethra. One is internal sphincter and another is external sphincter. Okay. So internal sphincter can be seen. This is made up of smooth muscles and fibers, and it's situated at the neck of the urinary bladder. Here comes the urinary bladder neck. Near to the neck of the urinary bladder, we can see the smooth muscles, which forms the sphincter. Okay. So here we can see this is the internal urethral sphincter near to the neck of the urinary bladder. This one. This is internal urethral sphincter, and next is the external sphincter. So external sphincter, it is seen surrounding the membranous part of the urethra. So this is the membranous part. So here you can see sphincter urethra muscles, which forms the external sphincter. Okay. And it is supplied by the pudendal nerve, and it is voluntary in function, but internal sphincter is involuntary, but this external sphincter is voluntary. Okay. So these are the two sphincters, internal sphincter and external sphincter of the urethra. Okay. Then comes the blood supply and nerve supply. So the blood supply, male urethra, it is supplied by the urethral artery, branch of internal pudendal artery, and also it is supplied by dorsal penile artery. Okay. And venous drainage, it is passes through the dorsal vein of penis. Then it forms drains into the prostatic venous plexus and finally into the internal iliac veins. Okay. Then lymphatic drainage through the drains into the deep inguinal lymph nodes and internal iliac lymph nodes. Okay. Then nerve supply, it is supplied by the prostatic plexus. It supplies the smooth muscles of the prostate and prostatic urethra. Then sympathetic and parasympathetic fibers are there. Parasympathetic nerves from the second to the fourth sacral segment. So that is the nerve supply. Then comes to the applied anatomy. So applied anatomy usually one applied is the catheterization of urethra. Catheterization. Okay. So here we can see. So this is our urethra. The catheterization of the urinary bladder. So in some cases, the patients are unable to pass urine, and which leads to the storage of urine in the urinary bladder. So in such case, we will insert the rubber tube called catheter passes through into the bladder through the urethra. Okay. So like this. So in that, when passing the catheter, you should remember which are the curvatures of the urethra. So like this, they will pass the catheter. A rubber tube passes through the urethra and reaches the urinary bladder. Okay. So this is known as catheterization of urinary bladder. And the infection of the urethra is known as urethritis. And then hypospadias. Hypospadias means it is a developmental anomaly in which the penis will be urethra will be opens into the under surface of the penis, not on the tip. Instead of the tip, it is opens into the lower portion, inferior surface of the penis. Okay. Then epispadias is another condition in which we can see the opening of the urethra into the superior surface, to the dorsal surface of the penis opening. So that is known as epispadias. another is known as hypospadias. So these are the applied anatomy of urethra.